Cluffy Ultimate Soles. Do you have foot pain? This will change your life. Are you an athlete? This will change your game, making the foot into a stable powerhouse capable of transmitting that power to all areas of your body, at the same time minimizing injury risk. The three main features of the Cluffy Ultimate Sole are the lift underneath the big toe called the Cluffy wedge. You can see the very unique design of the arch that allows the foot to be properly supported with all three arches and allows the foot to move into its normal, strong, and stable position. And then it has a heel pad, which is a gel heel pad to cushion the impact on the heel and minimize the risk of injury, and also slightly elevates the foot to improve power. You can see how the insole comes up when in the shoe, comes up around the outside of the foot, supporting the outside arch of the foot, and also comes up and supports the inside arch of the foot as well. The Cluffy Ultimate Sole works by engaging what's called the windlass mechanism. This is a mechanism that changes the foot from a very loose structure at contact to a very stable structure as you move forward and move the big toe upward. It's very important that this transition be able to occur. Down on the bottom, you can see that the heel's in a very everted position. It's going outward. And when we bring the big toe up, that brings the heel into a normal alignment, which is going to make the foot much more stable and strong as you propel forward. In this video, we're going to be showing you how this foot is being held here in a very normal position with the foot in a stable structure right here. I'm holding it stable, and now we're going to release my hand, and I'm going to show you how that foot's going to get very unstable and pull to the outside as we do that. This is called pronation of the foot, but what we're going to do is we're going to bring the big toe joint up, and as we do that, you can see how the foot goes right back into its normal alignment. And this is critical that the foot be able to transition from this unstable structure to a very stable structure as you move forward. We are now going to show you some testing we did on 10 Alvernia University wrestling athletes. The first test is called the front pull test. This is done with the athlete holding their arms in a straight position, cupping their hands, and we're pushing down on the hand trying to pull them forward. The athlete has been instructed not to allow us to pull them forward. You can see without the Cluffies, they go right over. With the Cluffies, it's nearly impossible to pull the athlete off balance. This works with all athletes, putting at least 60 pounds of pressure on them to try to pull them forward. You can imagine the implications this has for both athletes as well as elderly individuals with poor balance problems. Now we're doing a back balance test, again without the Cluffy on the left and with the Cluffy on the right. You can see the incredible difference here in back balance imparted by the Cluffy insole. This is a single limb forward pull test. We're using a dynamometer to calculate the amount of force required to pull the athlete off balance. You can see they went from 54 to 65 pounds with the addition of the Cluffy Ultimate Sole. We're calling them off balance at the point where their heel raises off the floor, right there. This is a side-to-side balance test, testing balance both on the right and the left sides, with and without the Cluffy Ultimate Soles. You can see that there's a significant improvement in the amount of force required to push them off balance with the Cluffy Ultimate Soles, indicating balance improvements in all directions. This is a test measuring the amount of force required to push the athlete forward off balance, particularly relevant in the sport of wrestling in the hand fighting position. You can see the significant improvement in force required to do that with the addition of the Cluffy Ultimate Sole. This is a staggered stance position common in many sports. We're trying to push the athlete forward. You can see the significant improvement in the stability imparted with the addition of the Cluffy Ultimate Sole. In this staggered stance position, we're trying to push them backward. This would have relevance in many sports, particularly linemen in football and other contact sports. You can see the significant improvement in the force required to displace the athlete with the addition of the Cluffy Ultimate Sole. In this lunge position, we're pushing the knee outward. You can see the significant improvement in force required to displace the knee with the addition of the Cluffy Ultimate Sole, with the implications obviously being on the risk of knee injury being reduced potentially. In the lunge position, we're now pushing on the outside of the knee, pushing it in, again with significant improvements noted in the amount of force required to displace the knee. We're testing hip flexor strength. The insole is obviously in both feet, only the one foot is on the ground. We're testing the opposite side with putting a strap around the thigh with a dynamometer, trying to pull the leg down, instructing the athlete not to allow us to do that. You can see that there is a significant improvement in the amount of force required to displace the leg with the addition of the Cluffy Ultimate Sole. We're now testing arm strength, noting a significant improvement in the force required to displace the arm on an average of 10 athletes, went up by 10 pounds. In this ladder drill, they're hopping back and forth across a line. We're asking them to do this as fast as possible in 10 seconds, counting the number of steps that they took. The number went from 19 without the insole to 22 once the insole was placed on an average of 10 athletes. We did not see any athletes do any worse with the addition of the Cluffy Ultimate Sole in their shoe. We're now testing lateral arm pull strength, again showing a significant improvement with the addition of the Cluffy Ultimate Sole. We're now doing a lateral step speed test, testing the number of steps that the athlete can do in 10 seconds, hopping side to side. Went from an average of 12 without the Cluffy Ultimate Sole to 15 with the addition of the Cluffy Ultimate Sole.
My foot and ankle felt a lot more stable. My feet felt more grounded. It was kind of crazy, the difference, because it felt like my feet, when I wanted them to be stuck to the ground, they were. But then when we did agility testing and speed testing, I was faster, I was more balanced, I felt more athletic. It was really cool. I loved them.
I think they were really good. I feel like there was a big difference. I feel like they really helped me with my issues in my foot. I just feel like I was more explosive, more balanced.
Hopping with them in and hopping with them out, I can definitely feel a difference. The fatter bottom for the heel, but that made a difference for being able to go more straight, definitely cushion more landing.
I have really flat feet. The fact that these have a lot more arch support, I think is really going to help me on the mat.
The insoles were really comfortable, and they felt better than the actual insoles that are in the shoe. They had more grip. How they're designed, it doesn't let my ankle roll, keeps it steady.
I feel like my heel doesn't really come up. My ankle is bending and my foot is still grounded.
This is looking at the results of the Y balance test for cheerleaders with and without the Cluffy Ultimate Soles. We found of the 8 cheerleaders tested that there was a average gain of 15.3 centimeters over all 6 tests, implying that the athletes would be at a lower risk of overuse injury. This is a single limb hop test without the Cluffies on the right and with the Cluffies on the left. You can see the huge difference. On the right, she's coming down fairly well on her first step, but on the second step, her pelvis is tilted way off balance, her Left knee is coming way in, foot's pronated. On the third step, she's really pronated, way off balance, and just can't finish well. With the Cluffies on the left, you can see she's in perfect balance with all three steps. Foot alignment is extremely good. Knee position is way better. She's able to finish the third step without significant sway. This lady comes in with very, very bad balance. You can see that she's struggling quite a bit with walking and keeping her balance. She had pain in multiple areas, including her feet. She's walking very tentatively and having difficulty turning around. This is her walking 1 week later with the Cluffy insoles in her shoes. You can see how much longer her stride is, how she's rolling through the foot better. At this point, how she's swinging her arms a little bit better and walking much more normal. She had no pain in her feet. Most of her hip pain, back pain had been resolved as well, just by getting her to walk better like this, with the addition of the Cluffy Ultimate Soles. These are the pain points you can expect to see significant improvement with the Cluffy Ultimate Sole. First pain point is in the heel, which is a very common area for pain. We can also see improvement of pain on the inside of the ankle, in the arch, both on the inside of the foot and the outside of the foot, on the ball of the foot, and back of the toes, usually the second and third toes mostly, also between toes 3 and 4, and also the big toe joint area is very commonly affected positively with the insole. Also looking at the back of the heel, the leg pain, shin splints particularly, commonly resolved with the Cluffy Ultimate Sole. Knee pain, hip pain, back pain, if posturally related, can also significantly improve.
I would 100% recommend the insole pretty much across the board for anyone who's involved in any type of athletics. My opinion, and not only just my opinion, but the real world application that I've seen is this tremendously improves your stability, tremendously improves your positioning, your posture. It universally has improved my athletic performance in all of my Olympic weightlifting. And you just feel better as far as your feet, your knees, your legs, your hips. It's amazing how the insole, unlike any other insole that I've tried, and I've tried many, has actually made a bigger difference in my overall biomechanics than anything across the board that I've ever done.
Hi, I'm Alan Kress. I'm the throws coach here at the University of Providence, and I'm also a masters throwing athlete. 7-time national champion in the throws pentathlon and currently ranked number 3 in the world at that. Today I want to talk about something that's helped me a lot with my training and throwing, and that's the Cluffy insoles, sport insoles for my shoes. And as you can see, I wear these in my throwing shoes. It's really simple to put in, just squeeze them together, make sure that heel gets down there. But what it's done for me is gives me better stability and support for training and throwing. I wear them in my training shoes, my javelin shoes, everything. And I've had less arch problems, knee problems, and I've had better throws. I feel more connected and stable when I'm throwing. So I just endorse these, and if you're interested, just go to cluffy.com and look at the sport insoles. Thanks.
It is very important to understand why ankle motion moving upward into dorsiflexion is limited in many athletes with injuries or shin splints. The Cluffy Ultimate Sole will fix this problem in most people over time. So again, with motion of the big toe upward, you can see the middle of the foot stable. I'm getting all my motion through the ankle. Without proper motion of the ball of the foot, you can see that my middle of the foot now is moving substantially at this point, and the ankle is moving very little in relationship to the midfoot. You can assess ankle joint motion by having the athlete, the person with their knee extended, and you're asking them to pull the foot upward on the left, they are not able to pull the foot up to perpendicular, which is a very big problem. Perpendicular is right here in the middle. This is still inadequate motion of the ankle going up. On the right, you can see they're going up about 10 degrees. This is considered more normal. As we just illustrated, the Cluffy Ultimate Sole will restore ankle joint motion in dorsiflexion, and by doing that, we will be limiting the risk of an ankle sprain, and we will be very effective at dealing with shin splints. The risk of an ankle sprain is very high when the lateral arch of the foot is not supported correctly or restored properly, which the Cluffy Ultimate Sole does very well. You can see on these illustrations that this illustration of the foot being casted here is without restoring the lateral arch. So that would be this picture right here of that foot. And when we restore the lateral arch, as we do here in this image to the right, you can see that the heel position now is vertical. And that change in position is very significant at reducing the risk of an ankle sprain. You can see how the insole goes right up around the lateral or the outside arch of the foot, supporting it. That's going to be a significant advantage in reducing the risk of an ankle sprain. In this video, we're illustrating showing how there's less ankle movement when the joint is in an upward position, and there's more movement present when it's in a downward position like this. Here you see quite a bit of motion. There the motion is significantly reduced, reducing the risk of an injury. Shin splints are related to decreased ankle movement, where the muscles in front of the leg have to work harder to clear the foot. Fatigue at the insertion of the muscle on the bone results in pain. Cluffy Ultimate Soles will restore normal ankle movement in most situations over time and resolve shin splints. Here is our contact information. We hope to hear from you. Thank you for your attention.